What's up, everybody? Welcome to Latinx Now. Today we have a very, very special guest. We have Rosie Rivera. Yay! Rosie, you have, you do a little bit of everything. You're a podcast host. You're author for books. You became a host here on Telemundo English.
I love it.
Telemundo. We want to know everything, honestly. So let's start first with your podcast.
With the podcast, yes. It's called The Power of Us, and it's a podcast with your husband where you go through everything together and you share your life as a couple and you also give advice. So tell us how this started and what it means to you now.
Well, we had just gone over a deep moment in our life. We were about to get divorced, and then we were able to save the marriage. And we said, we didn't know all of this before. What if we had known right before we got married the truth about marriage? And I said, well, then let's tell him. Are you willing to be raw? And he's like, sure. So there'll be times on the podcast where we are just mad at each other. And I'll tell that I'm so mad at him right now. You could tell because I'm not smiling. And I'm like, we're talking about it now, babe. And he's like, sure, let's go. And I love that about him. And it's really our yearning to help newlyweds or people that are about to get married to see if they can relate and then make marriage work.
You know, you said something that kind of hit right before you guys are going to get divorced. You guys went into counseling therapy. You know, was that a hard choice? Because I know for our culture, sometimes it's like, no, don't go to the therapist, don't go to a counselor. Was that hard for both of you to be in agreement to go see one?
I've done therapy since forever because I went through sexual abuse. So for me, it was a very easy choice. For my husband, and usually it is. Usually it's the woman that's leading us to therapy. But my husband, I'm so grateful. He loves me so much and he loves our family so much that he said, I don't really want to. I'm going to be really honest with you, but I'll go for you. And then he gave it his all. And I think that's really what matters. So it really helps that he was just willing to do it.
That's why you guys are still together today, because he showed you that he was down to do anything to save it.
And has this podcast bring you guys closer, would you think? Or are there days that you're like, I hate today's episode?
In our marriage, yes, but in our partners of sometimes I hate working with you, boy. And he's like, I hate working with you too, girl. So sometimes we have to take breaks because our marriage can be doing well, but I'm like, I don't want to work with you today. Because it's different working with family. And we're very real. So we're taking a little hiatus just because he's always late and I can't stand it anymore. So we really separate that.
Well, it's a great podcast. It's great conversation, so you guys can't miss it. Now we have to talk about your book, because you're also an author, and it's a very special book that you said that you were planning this since you were 10 years old.
Yes, I've always thought, who does God care? Does he exist? Did he forget about me? I went through sexual abuse, so I wasn't sure if anyone defended me, and so I became everyone's defender. I had to defend my sister and my mom, and I thought, oh, I'm everyone's savior. You're not. You're not everyone, and all that weight I had on me. And then I realized that I was just so bitter because I wanted revenge. This book is really, yes, we know God is our defender, but what do we do so that we allow him to be our defender? And then I just gained my peace back. My relationships are better because I'm like, God's going to handle it. What do I do so that I handle my business without stressing everyone out? Because you know what? I used to make my husband my defender, my brother. What are you going to do? They're and my husband's like, I'm just here to love you. I'm not here to be your defender, Rosie. So when we expect others to be our defender, we also stress them out. So God being my defender has really made all the relationships in my life healthier.
Can I ask you, and being someone who suffered sexual abuse at a young age as well, what would be, especially that you've done the therapy, that you have a great husband by your side, that you're creating this book that's telling you that God is your defender, what's the advice you think you would give all those people that have gone through it?
To not quit. It gets really hard. Yeah. It's a long time, and the process of healing is very long, and thank you for telling me.
Oh, no, I'm very open about it. It just hit me because there was a moment when you were saying, I know what it is to become everybody's defender.
Yes.
And you forget to defend that little girl in you sometimes.
Yes, exactly. So it's really not give up, not expect it to be, oh, I've been doing the work for 6 months. Yes, for your 6 months, but you might have a few more years or some time, and not to feel like those setbacks meant that all the years of work that you've done eran para nada, were for nothing. No, even if you've been in the process, I've been to counseling and I've done this and I'm just broken. No, just keep going, girl. Don't stop until what? Until you're in a healthy relationship, until you love yourself, until you feel like you've really gotten there. And I've been at this for, since I was 8, and I'm going through post-traumatic stress disorder right now. And you can say, well, then none of it's true. It is true. I've gotten to another stage. So really love yourself, be honest with your couple, because they're at war with you and they don't even know. My husband has stepped on mines and he didn't even know he was in a battlefield. And when I was finally open with him, this is what happened sexually. This is what happened.
Yeah.
He really joined along with me and said, we're going to beat this together. And we did.
I love that. I think another thing that I would say is that it's not your fault.
Definitely.
And where you're at, you can choose different paths, and choose to use it as a strength instead of a weakness.
Right.
And I think you're done that, and you're playing evidence of that. You're creating these books and helping people. So I just want to say thank you for everything that you're doing.
And can I say thank you to both of you guys, because I think that talking about this so openly is so important, and there's probably a lot of people who are watching us who have been through the same. So I think that it's very important for people to be vocal about it, because we all learn that, because I think it's more common than we think. And it's one of those things that you don't know how to say it or when to say it, and if you have advocates like you guys for this. So I am thankful, because I think for the future of maybe my daughters or my friends or my sister and all the people, I think that it's very valuable to hear you speak like this so honestly, and it makes me very emotional, because I really am thankful, because I think this is woman power as a whole.
Yes.
So I thank you for your work, I thank you for your honesty and for being so open about this. And
can I just say something before we switch the flip? I don't think it's just women. I think it's also men
1
too,
in 7.
and even more men than you would believe.
Yeah, 1 in 4 girls, 1 in 7 boys, and I think they get even less attention. So we're going to get to the point where we have men talking about it and we help them.
Right.
Because we helped each other. We could say, hey, come on, I've been there, let's go. And picking up our men too.
Especially because we're so open with feelings. So guys, come on, talk about your feelings. Therapy's pretty awesome.
It's hot too, let me just say.
So guys, thank you so much. I think this has been so special. And to make it even more special and even more fun and show that we can switch things up in a minute and everything. Now let's do a game time, because we love to play here in Latinx Now. So Rosie, I think you've heard about this game before. This is called Who is More Likely To, right? So we're going to present situations, different situations, and you have to tell us which member of your family is more likely to do this. We have Don Pedro,
Your daddy.
We have Lupillo,
Oh, brother.
Okay, then we have Chiquis,
Which is your niece.
And then we have Doña Rosa, who's our favorite. And then you have Juan. So give two to...
Okay.
I'm going to give you your mom.
Doña Rosa and Juan.
Okay, I'll stick
and then
with Cheeks.
I have Lupillo and Don Pedro. So, Nas,
Let's do this. All right. So who's most likely to lose the car in the parking lot?
My dad.
Don Pedro. Okay, who is more likely to do something illegal?
Juanelo.
Juan.
All right. Who's most likely to date a basketball player or athlete?
I wish that was Doña Rosa.
Yeah. Mama, please, I need a daddy. Chiquis or me.
Okay. Crash their brand new car just pulling it out of the dealership.
Gosh. Maybe Lupe. I'm not sure.
That's a tough one. Okay. All right. Who's most likely to win $1 million in the lotto? Lotto. What? Lotto.
Lupe.
He's the lucky one.
Right.
Okay, who is more likely to end up in a date with a serial killer?
Probably me. Thank you, Jesus, that I have Abel, but I'm so dumb at choosing men. It would have been me.
All right. So who would you call if you got arrested, or most likely to call if you got arrested?
This guy. He'll get you out of it. He'll bail you out. Juanelo.
Okay, who is most likely to get drunk at an inappropriate time?
Lupe.
Lupillo, there we got it.
All right, and lastly, who is most likely to be the life of the party?
Ooh, you know what? All of us.
So we're going to end up with this Rivera party. Rosie, thank you so much for being with us. This is an awesome conversation, and I think that we've become friends after this week.
Oh, we're family.
Yes.
Right? Can you invite us on your podcast?
Yes, for sure. It's going to be
Please.
fun.
And I'm definitely going to read God is Your Defender, because it definitely hit home here.
Oh, I love
Yes.
it. Thank you, girls. It was so fun.
Thank you, Rosie.
You know, this is your crib whenever you want, girl.
Yes.
Bye, guys. Don't miss Mariposa de Barrio, who's also streaming on Peacock, and the Riveras, who's also streaming on Peacock. Of course, Latinx Now. Follow us on Instagram, social media, whatever it is. We love you guys, and we see you next time.
Mwah. Ciao for now.
Bye. Ey, tú ahí, no te vayas, ¿te gustó el clip?
Entonces suscríbete para seguir riendo y jugando con nosotras.
Aquí la pasamos espectacular y obviamente hablamos de todas las noticias del mundo Latinx y lo más trendy.
Entonces dale click y no te pierdas nada de Latinx Now.
Ahí está, click, suscríbete, like, comment,
Click, la campanita, dale, you got us.